welcome here. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. It's just me for now. We've got a special guest today. But Julia's out sick, so it's gonna be a little bit different today. We're gonna have so much fun though. And we do have a special guest, Darcy, joining us shortly. So we're all in for a real treat. Julia's in the chat with us. So yeah, we're just gonna have a fun show. We're gonna talk about songs, how to practice songs. And we have this themed as, kind of, actually how to practice a song. But because I'm also at the tail end of a cold here and my voice has been disappearing on me, we're gonna get Darcy to talk a little bit about how to practice a song specifically when maybe you've been a little under the weather or you have a fatigued voice. So this is a really great opportunity for you guys to have questions answered by Darcy. So if you're in the members area, make sure you throw your questions into the questions tab. So if you look at the chat, you're gonna see it say chat, and then to the right of that, questions. Click there and then add your questions for Darcy so that we can make sure that he has a chance to answer them at the end. Julia's gonna be fine. She's just got a cold. Not just, but she's just sick. It happens. Unfortunately. However, how's everybody doing though? Seriously. What have you guys been up to this week? Has anybody had any Christmas sing-alongs or Christmas choirs that they're a part of? Or have you gone to a show? I would love to know if there's a tradition in your life where there's a specific musical thing that you do. I wish that I had one that was more consistent, but I remember being a kid and our parents taking us to go listen to the Messiah or to the Nutcracker, which nothing beats those experiences. But even over the years, just the experience of going to a local production in our little town of Abbotsford, seeing a choir put on a production or a play, you can't beat that. So has anybody done anything like that? Okay, Nancy did a community Christmas choir. That's amazing. Tim, oh my gosh, how would I forget the Missouri recitals? Yes. I didn't set that up on purpose at all by accident. Singeo and Missouri recitals are a great way to get involved with a musical experience if you don't have something else or you just want to add to that. It's a really low stress way because you don't have to actually be in front of people in real time. You can take your time preparing your performance and recording it, and then you can send it in when you feel ready. So it's pretty amazing. Holly's from Cali, ukulele ensemble, playing and singing at retirement homes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Nancy, oh yeah, we already got to Nancy. I'm just gonna check our friends on YouTube here. Oh, Louisa says, I love Roxette. I don't know where that came from, but I hope it's in reference to my awesome hair today. My Roxette hair. Let's talk about that. Does anybody notice it's a little bit purple? You can't see it so well with these lights, but I washed my hair with purple shampoo last night and I might have left it a little too long and I got out of the shower and I was like, oh dear Lisa, you have stained your hair purple. So I kind of wore this to try to offset it, and then with all the lights it's sort of hidden. So that was a fun adventure, a fun life adventure. Okay, so, oh my gosh, and I just have to recap, we had Kates here last week. Do you guys remember how beautiful her voice is? I don't know if Kates is in the chat, but that was a delight. And then she made us the most perfect cookies. There's the food. There's the food conversation. See, I'm hitting, oh, Kates is here. Yes, Kates is a rock star and she makes amazing cookies. I can have purple hair if Shania Twain can have pink hair. Fully agree. Thank you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna warm up together. And I'm just gonna, because everybody, I feel like there's lots of us that have had colds recently. Holler in the chat if you've been fighting a cold or struggling with anything like that. Check out what's been saving my butt. So I've got my vocal mist and I've been hydrating my vocal cords. So this is not a vape, contrary to popular belief. It does make me feel pretty badass though. So this is basically saline solution and it mists into your, it passes through your vocal cords, so it actually hydrates. Unlike with water or tea or honey, those things don't touch your vocal cords. Your vocal cords close when you swallow to protect you from choking on the things you're swallowing. So the only way something's touching your vocal cords is by breathing. So this is a great strategy, even for when you're not sick. This is gonna make all the difference. Hello, Lee. Number 2, I've got a straw. I've got a very narrow stainless steel straw, and I have been exercising with this a lot. Ooh. So if any of you have a straw that's really narrow, or a straw at all, in your home, go grab it really quick because I want to include this in our warm-up. If you don't, the Puffy Cheeks is a super good substitution for the straw that, that you can use. So are you guys ready to warm up your voices? I wish I could hear your voices telling me that you're so excited about this. Yes, Julia is. I can hear Julia saying yes. And Julia, I would like you to rate my, my focus today on a scale of 1 to 10 throughout the stream, how well I'm doing at staying focused. Okay, I'm gonna warm up and then I'm gonna circle back and show you some cool stuff and then we're gonna bring Darcy in. So, okay, first things first. If you have a straw, grab it. If you don't, oh, we're supposed to transition cameras before I do the warm-ups, aren't we? Are we good? Are we moving? I'm just asking questions. Can we see me? I'm losing my focus points already, guys. Are we good like this, Chris? Yeah, okay. All right, so first things first, we're gonna do this. Don't worry, Julia, I'll get it back. And if you don't have a straw, we're gonna do this. We'll keep it going. Okay, I'm gonna add on to this, watch. What? I'm gonna do one more and then we're gonna descend. And let me know if you're struggling with this new pattern. I'll call out the numbers. It's this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Two more. Last one. Amazing. I feel better already. Okay, we're gonna do some bubbling, and then we'll see how it goes. But I want to hear from you guys. Did you guys actually sing with me? Were you singing? Nobody's really telling. Julia was. Of course, Julia was. Julia's perfect. So, okay, good. Thank you. I like to see all of this. Tim liked the scale. Thank you, everyone. Iris was. There we go. There's the validation I need to keep going. Okay, we're gonna do. We're actually gonna do like a regular old major scale on the bubble today. So talk about plot twist. Check this out. Keep it going. Oh my gosh, can I play all my scales? And these should be good strong bubbles. Oh my gosh, my face. We're heading back down, but we're going faster. Two more. My face is so bad right now. Oh my gosh. Anybody else's nose feel like they'd like to remove it from their face? Oh, the dogs hate this one. They hate it. My dog loses his mind. I'm gonna record Rhodes freaking out to me practicing the bubble and then I'll share it with you guys next week if I can remember. Yeah, my nose gets itchy too. It's the absolute worst. Nancy, that's a really hard exercise to do. We have a lot of lessons inside Singeo that will help you with this bubble specifically. And it's good to start small. So that was a bit more of a challenging scale. So even at the beginning, if you want to practice placing your fingers here, just between where your teeth are and staying fairly relaxed, but we're not pulling down. We're just kind of providing a little anti-gravity here. And then you can try just sustaining a single note. Maybe no sound. Maybe some sound. And then work your way into the scales from there. Okay, How's everybody doing? Yeah, it's not a hygienic exercise in any way. You're just gonna share your germs for sure. Okay, now I've been looking forward to this one since I started thinking about the warm-ups for today. And I want you guys to be honest with me. I'm gonna run you through some sirens right now. I'm going to set my timer for 30 seconds. And wherever you are, I want you to do sirens with me. People might look funny at you. I mean, don't do it if you're at work. Please don't get in trouble. Okay, but if you're in a place where you can do this, like 30 seconds feels like eternity when you're doing sirens because it's so weird. And remember, your pitches are gonna be different than mine, so just go to town. We're gonna gently slide our voices from our lowest note to our highest comfortable note and sort of back and forth. Are you guys ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Woo! I might start higher. Woo! I've got some crunchiness at the top. Woo! Woo! Why don't you like sirens, Iris? Woo! That's 30 seconds. Who did it? Kate's dog is confused. Iris doesn't like sirens. Megan did it. Iris did it. Megan's dog left. Cuthbert, Tony, Lee. Oh, you're feeling those flips. Maybe Darcy can comment on the flips that we feel when we do sirens. When we move over to Darcy in just a second here. Ben C, you know what? I often find that my voice doesn't want to do sirens in the morning either, and I think that's kind of the point. Like, this isn't something that you're supposed to be pushing through or trying to like get to all your notes with. It's just sort of a discovery about where your voice is in the moment. So my next step, a lot of times if I'm like really trying to work on my voice and if I actually had to sing, I would do my puffy cheeks or I would grab my straw and I would siren with that. Yeah, Derek has had this recommended by the otolaryngologist. That's a doctor. So, officially doctor recommended. Can I say that? Okay. I'm really excited to get to our topic today, but before we do that, I just want to talk a little bit about something that made me really, really happy. And there's like a thread that connects all of this. Okay, so we're doing a big Musora live stream, as many of you know, on the weekend. And I did not pick this song, but you guys know I've already told you, we're doing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, which is really hard to sing. And that's a whole thing to the side. But I love Mariah Carey. I'm concerned a little bit about her current state of her voice, but she has a duet that she was singing with her daughter, and it was Christmassy, and if you didn't see it, I just wanted to take a moment and we'll have a little listen together. So, do we have it ready, guys? Okay, just check this out.
Right now, I'd like to once again introduce you to my daughter, Monroe. This is our first duet. And Mom, you got my dress? It's all good? We're not looking, it's all good? Okay, all right. All right, this is a beautiful, beautiful hymn I'd love to hear the beginning, called Away in a Manger. We've been working on this one for a minute.
Isn't that precious? Like, oh my gosh. that I would just like to like talk about based on that performance alone. First of all, I mean, how special is that? She's singing with her daughter. They both sound absolutely stunning. We start with the whistle tone because Mariah. And then her daughter just has this incredible voice. So that just warmed up my heart. Okay, so I really wanted you to see that. We're going to talk a little bit about preparing a song and practicing a song. And in order to do that, we're going to bring Darcy on board. I need my headphones so I can hear him. I'm pretty sure he's here still. Let's check it out. Oh, Darcy. Okay. I can't hear Darcy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How
Good
are
morning.
you? Good
Good
morning.
afternoon. Good evening.
Welcome to the internet, Darcy.
Yes. I live there.
You live in the internet.
Yes.
Okay, friends are asking when I'm going to teach people how to sing whistle register. This is a really good question because I don't know how I do it. I just open my mouth and then sometimes it's there. Nope, not today.
You were coming in too aggressive.
Okay, watch this. It's gone. Let's fix it.
You are suffering a little bit from a cold.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
So can you do a vocal fry? Now can you do an ascending pattern on the fry?
Do you want me to stay fried or staccato?
Like yeah, stay fry. So where does it fall apart?
Oh.
Right about where whistle should start.
There it is.
Remember a while back we did that thing where you just use a nice medium lip bubble. And
Yeah.
wherever it falls apart, just let it, but keep going. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's just there. Friends, give that a try in your free time. It's really something that you kind of have to let go of your expectations about how it's going to sound. Because if you try to force whistle, it doesn't work. Also, you can hurt yourself.
Hey, it's just like forcing a real whistle, right?
Right.
You can't do it. It has to be. It's very easy. Yeah.
Once you have everything lined up, right? So we'll do like a whole episode on how to whistle. Oh, wait, I lost Darcy again. No, everything's fine. Whoa. There was just this screen started to move and I was like, what is happening? Okay, so there's a quick little lesson on whistle. Yeah, I think you can move into whistle at a different, like everybody starts their whistle register maybe at a different point. Like, is that true? Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's based on the size and shape of your body. Mm-hmm. Just like the size and shape of a whistle, a train whistle, a little tiny whistle, a dog whistle, it's going to be, it's based on that. It's physical, and it's where the vocal cords are primarily going to be on cartilage. So they converge to the edges, and it's the cartilage that's enabled, like in falsetto and beyond. So there's very little adduction of the chords being used.
That means they're not coming together all the way. They're kind of like,
yeah.
Wah.
Just on the edge, yeah.
Can Darcy whistle, or is it something only female voices can do?
I can't. I mean, sometimes I can, but no. And my falsetto has never really been fantastic either.
And Darcy's a real rock star, so take that for what you want.
I'm a lyrical tenor, so where falsetto would fit for most guys, for me, I'm still connected. So, and I've never really pursued it. And the songs that I've done, in the range that they're in, I would just sing it connected. I mean, I can sing in falsetto, but yeah.
You're comfortable without, so why?
Yeah.
Do you need falsetto to have a whistle tone?
I don't. That's a good question, actually.
I think
I would hate to answer that incorrectly.
I guess that it would make it easier to find falsettos. Just like you have to kind of develop your registers individually in order to have them like intact. Like
even for like chest pullers, I say I'd rather you flip than grip, because at least you find where you should be.
Yeah.
Right. Then you just have to connect it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would help. It helps to find falsetto when you want to find an edgy connection too, right?
There you go, falsetto. Do the little yodels.
Yeah.
That works.
And where did that? Yeah, so F.
F. Yeah.
So that's on the approach to your transition, A flat. So you're still technically in chest voice there.
Bum, bum, bum. I feel like we should have like 18 sessions where we just talk about registers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heat registers.
I love heat registers. They're my favorite part of any building, any room. Find me that heat register. Woo! Okay, so let's circle back to our theme for today, which is how to practice a song. So Darcy's been practicing private vocal coaching for a long time. I've had time practicing private vocal coaching as well, and I think we can both agree that what most students believe is practicing a song may be missing a few steps. So Darcy, what do you have to say about the process of practicing a song?
Okay. So singing the song is like the final destination for every singer, right? And if we sing songs before you've had any voice training, or you know what your voice can do, or what the limitations of your voice is, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to come in and just start singing the song. Even now, for me, when I learn a new song, I know the limitations of my voice, so I make sure that it's in the right key. First thing I do is learn and memorize the lyric, so that my conscious mind is not reading the menu, so to speak. It's there in the back in subconscious, and then I can focus solely on placing the voice, in the register, placing the voice with the notes, and then emotionalizing that.
Darcy, let's do a little skit here to demonstrate this process. Okay, so pretend like I'm the vocal student and you're the vocal teacher, and you ask me which song I'd like to do and if I know it. Let's do this game. Okay.
Hey, Lisa, what song would you like to sing?
I would like to sing Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. Do you know the song?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the song is about?
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever experienced love before?
I love my dog.
Okay. I won't say anything. Okay. And you know the song?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I know it.
All right. So, have you ever sung it before?
Like in my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you have music that you can sing to, or that you can play the piano to keep yourself in the right key?
Sure.
Okay. Would you like to sing some of it?
Yeah.
Maybe the verse and the chorus.
Okay, I know it. How does it start?
I can only hear the little guitar riff in my head. I don't know. We were both.
Oh yeah. Okay. We were both young. I don't think I know it.
Right. So perhaps we should just back off. Now, what I would suggest is you don't have to learn the entire song. Songs are primarily made up of verse, chorus, maybe a bridge, and then an outro, right? So if you focus on one verse, chances are you're going to memorize the melody for all the verses.
Wow.
Slight minor changes. So what is the best way to find the melody? Now, when you first hear a new song, what draws you to it is the melody.
Yes.
Right? You're just going, la, da, 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 da. Oh, I love this melody, right?
And
you don't even know it.
That's where many singers feel like they know the song because they've heard it and then they listen and they go, oh, I know it, which as we demonstrated.
Right.
As you were.
So you may be familiar with the melody. So then why don't we just start there? Because that's what draws you in. So you grab your favorite straw or semi-occluded vocal track device. And what you're going to do is, I like to do this with my clients. I get them to get a Google Doc sheet and get the lyrics on the page.
Okay.
And every time there's a breath, hit return.
Ah,
so
I like
the
that.
first line in the song is going to take this much breath. Return. Then Feed the breath for the next line. Yep. Return.
Etc.
Yes. Then you set up the breathing pattern, right? And what's happening as you do this is you're activating the vocal cords as well in a condition that puts them in complete balance so there's no strain, and you're finding and placing the pitch in that song, right? Then you could try, if you feel really confident, you could try, I don't know the words, so sing the first line.
We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there.
Okay. Now, if it feels like it's a little bit light, why don't we try singing a word that's going to connect the chords to find the placement. And
Okay.
you could use nay, 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 A-E, right?
I love this one. Nay, 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 nay.
Sounds really terrible, right?
So bad.
But what do we notice? It's very connected.
It's there.
And it's not strained.
It's not strained at all.
Yes, so the of the A it lives in chest voice. And the E of the A lives in head voice by their very nature. So you're blending chest and head voice on every single note, so to speak, right? You're getting that. So when it comes time to the transition, or if you're in the transition, or you're getting into head voice, it's going to walk you in there.
Nay,
Right?
nay, nay, nay. We were both young. Oh, hello, voice. Where have you been?
Right. And the second thing you noticed is when you went young, it had vibrato on it.
Ooh.
What does vibrato mean?
It
Badge of
means-
maturity, balance.
Means I'm a grown up.
You are growed up.
Some might
So
say.
yeah, so that's a really good indication of now we're on the right path to start navigating the song. Now for me, when someone's having a challenge in a particular line, I get them to say the lyrics out loud. So the first line, we were both young. What's the next part?
When I first saw you.
Okay, so you could put the accent on each word alternately. So we were both young when I first saw you.
We were both young when I first saw you.
Now, we were both young when I first saw you.
We were both young when I first saw you.
We were both young when I first saw you.
We were both young when I first saw you.
And carry on till you finish.
We were both young when I first saw you. We were both young when I first saw you. We were both young when I first saw you.
Now, and then you finish this, and then what happens is it starts to make no sense, but you've managed to
That's what
turn
just
that whole-
happened.
you turn the whole thing into one word.
Oh.
Now, think about where the accent actually is in the song. We were both young.
It's on the we. We were both young. Oh.
Right. And then the next part
When I first saw you.
would be kind of saw, right?
Yeah.
When I first saw you.
I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there.
Yeah. Now listen, here's just a little side tip. Like if you're singing a song and you want to personalize it and make it your own, you could try changing the accent word in the line.
What?
Just try changing the accent word, and it'll change the feel, but the melody won't change too much.
We were both
young. So is it young or we?
right. Normally it's
How about we were both young.
we were both young when I first saw you. I
Right, it
closed
changes
my
it, and it doesn't always work, but it's
it's
a
so fun
great
to play
place to
with.
start. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so now this first line, you've almost bored yourself with it, and it's going to come out as one word, and you know where to breathe.
It's you're developing flow in that part of the song.
Yeah. And if when you sing the words, you have to pay attention to which word either gets stuck or falls apart,
Right.
or isn't quite balanced, and then you look at the word before and you look at the word after to see if there's a setup or a reset that has to happen
Right.
in the flow of that line.
So it's really not as simple as just being like, hear a song, sing a song. Like, I mean, yes.
I mean, some people are better at it than others.
Yeah, but I feel like there's room for absolutely anybody, even the pros, to take a look at a song and pull it apart that way.
Yeah.
Like-
and here's what I say too. Like, excuse me. You know, when an artist is working or writing a song, they're usually, you know, one or two other people in the room. They're playing the basic chord structure. They're mumbling melody over the idea. Okay. Then what happens is they make the words fit into the melody, right? So then they record a couple lines to see how it feels. And then eventually what happens is the whole song is built and the artist has to take the recording home and learn it. So it's a whole process. So when we want to cover that song, we have to go through the same kind of process, maybe change the key. You know, it might not be right for your voice. You have to make it fit for your voice. Then you have to process the same way how you place the notes and the sounds and the shapes to activate harmonics in the formants, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's simply complicated, but you have to take the time to just place each line. And usually by the time you're done one verse, the second verse, save the vowels that might be different, is going to be is easier to place.
Because you've got that muscle memory on the melody.
Yeah.
So taking that like one step further, say you're sick. Some things that I've been doing, and I learned a lot of this from Darcy. I have to sing a really big song on Friday, and my voice is at probably 30% right now. So one thing I'm not going to do is I am not going to stop practicing. Unless I can't vocal fry and I'm at a risk of losing my voice, I'm not going to stop.
Here's the thing to remember. I have to ask you a question. Have you been coughing?
No.
Okay. So that's probably the biggest bonus, because when you cough, the vocal cords have to resist all that pressure. And
yes.
it's very hard on the little muscles of the vocal folds. You can stretch them, you can strain them. And what happens is if this is your vocal folds, so they sit this way, and where they come together, that's the Adam's apple. When you phonate, they come together. Right now, when you're sick and if you've been coughing, the vocal folds swell or they retain water it's the body's way of protecting them. And so they'll come together here, right? But muscle memory says here. So you're going to overcompress the cord, which means you're going to get tired faster. You're going to lose it faster if you continue on that path. So the thing you have to remember when you're sick is back off. Maybe don't go for the big notes. Just back off and keep it comfortable.
Yeah, that's definitely the second thing is I'm practicing the song, but I'm not practicing it at capacity. I'm choosing to instead of, I want, it's there. But practicing, I'm more like, I want for I'm not disconnected, because that would be damaging and fatiguing as well. Ha! I get an A+ from Darcy. I'm more of in a connected sort of mix space there. So I'm not fatiguing out, and I'm doing very short practices.
And then what I do is on show day, very light warm up.
Okay.
And just check the big notes, just check them, make sure they're there. Nice light to medium warm up, like not just long enough to engage.
Okay.
Then you're going to do the show, the performance, and you're just going to sing normal, and whatever comes up, if you have to back off, you back off, and sometimes you might overcompress. You're going to do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Even in perfect conditions, you're going to sing technically half right, half the time. Then after the performance, you're going to do an extra long warm down.
Yes. And I'll probably use my straw, and I'll probably definitely rehydrate my cords.
Yeah.
Mister.
And a little bit of vocal massage.
Massage. Yeah? You got a massager there?
I got a massager.
Yeah.
2-speed.
This is a real thing, friends. We will do an episode on the vocal massager.
Yes, this is a real deal. This is actually for the neck and throat. This one's made by, I don't know, Gui. Anyways, it digs right in, gets right in there, makes it feel real good.
Yeah.
Lisa, bite your tongue.
Okay, staying calm and being a grown-up. Carrying on. So we've covered kind of the approach to practicing a song. We've covered how to practice when you're sick, and then definitely keeping in mind that cool down and the therapeutic decisions after a performance. There's one thing I actually wanted to ask you about for this song specifically, since I've got you here, Darcy, before we move on to questions, is I'm really struggling with this note. You. So the end of the song has these high U's, and when I go really narrow, I feel like I can't get my grip. You. It's a bit better right now since I'm super warmed up, but I've been.
Where's your tongue?
You. Oh, it's high. You. Ooh.
Okay, say yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'd like you to do is let your tongue come out a little bit.
Yeah. What the heck? That I even have vibrato there. I almost said a swear. Yeah.
Yes, so now I want you to finish the style of the line. Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. That's a lighten at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so that's because it's pretty wide. That's the widest sound you can make, the widest shape you can form, right?
Okay.
So is it possible now we go from ah to maybe
Yeah.
right? Because here's where I'm going with this. Yo.
Oh.
Yo.
So I'm not going right to the narrow.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
You might have to be a little bit more aggressive. Press down just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want you to go yeah, whatever the melody is, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it's a little bit but you're gonna keep finding that. You're gonna find that connection. You're gonna find that placement. You're gonna massage that till it's really comfortable, and then you're gonna sing you. Right. Now, what happens when we make the ooh shape is that although it's narrow and the lips go forward, which usually makes head voice available.
Yep.
It's very narrow, and so we're going to have to back off some. But now, because of where you are in your register and how you have to come into it, you got to compromise the shape, right? So it might be coming in on a yeah. So you're sharing resonance with another shape.
Yeah.
So if yeah likes it there, try to put ooh in that.
Yeah. 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 I have to think rectangle.
But whatever works for you, right? Like some people think purple and whatever it is.
My hair is purple. Did you see that?
I see that.
Yeah.
Matches your set.
Matches everything. Oh man, this is good. Okay, I feel kind of greedy taking all of the question time. So this is really great. We're going to, I'm going to take a couple of questions and then I'm going to announce our student of the week. So first things first, this is a really good question and this applies, I think, to a lot of us. This one's from Preston. And Preston's working on level 2.2 of the method and House of the Rising Sun specifically. And says, I had something really weird happen. I feel like I had a difficult time finding my voice. I feel I start the song well, but then at that high part on the second verse, I would pull back and get quiet. Eventually with practice, I felt more confident with it, but I feel like I had to get loud to hit that part accurately. Is this right? So for me, I think this has got to do with like transition and a register shift. What do you think, Darcy?
I believe so. That would be my first thought without having heard what is happening. Is it where, they call that part?
Yeah.
The rising sun.
Yeah.
If it's they call, let's look at the vowels first. A-all. A-all. Yeah. And then that we have that TH in front, which is right. So what does that do? Closes everything off. They. They, Thay. You know, there is a house in New Orleans. They are the rising sun. You got to change the shape. You got to feed the breath through it. So don't push, but provide what it needs. Because if you don't provide, those vocal cords are going to start, they're not going to have anything to come against, and they're going to start to have to squeeze. You're going to lose the closure, in other words.
And this is something that it takes a long time to develop these skills. So part of what you'll experience in the method is you'll find a challenge and you'll ask the question. And this is a really good sign that you're asking this question, because then you can record this and ask that question as you submit yourself singing this for student reviews. And then we'll hear that and we'll be able to give you specific exercises, which you're going to learn in the method that are going to help you to work through. And as Darcy likes to say, massage that area of your voice. And I know for me, when I'm singing a song that has a power note that sits kind of near a transition, a natural place in my voice where my things are changing, I do have to make a conscious decision. Am I going to give this more power, or am I going to back off a little bit? And at the start of my journey, it was a very extreme difference. It was either I felt like I was kind of shouty or had no power at all. And the more I've developed and exercised my voice, the more I'm able to have a spectrum where you start to mix a little bit of the chest voice with the head voice, and you're able to create a fuller, better sound without those extreme differences. But most importantly is it's not bad that you're experiencing loud on that note, because it's a pinnacle moment of the song, but it should never hurt, and you don't want to see these muscles popping out or any tightness through here. So if that's the case, go back to what Darcy was saying about not pushing and providing and looking at those vowels.
Yeah, and that's a good sign. Now, if it's not overly compressed and it's just bigger and louder, that's great, because one of my other rules is first we find the connection, then we refine the connection. Yes. So it might mean that your little muscles are just not accustomed to connecting in that place in the register on that particular shape. So it means you've got to massage that. And then you can back off without letting go. I call it connected release.
Ooh.
Right? I liken it to flying a kite.
Let's go fly a kite. Sorry.
Yeah, because when you fly a kite, you don't push it up, you let it out.
Ooh.
So to get to higher notes, you don't grip harder, you release a little bit. And then the breath
carries it
up.
Darcy, you are the king of the analogy.
And tension is near the same. It's just you have to get used to it. So you have to be really aware of how it feels, and then listen to how it sounds. And if it's like a baseball pitcher learning to throw fastballs, you repeat for a short period of time a very aggressive stance maneuver, right? And then you rest, and then you refine it till eventually it gets really easy to get the leverage or the coordination to throw that ball a little bit farther, a little bit harder, which is kind of how you can feel when you're going for a bigger note. You're throwing your voice a little bit harder, a little bit farther. Hey! Right? Without strain.
Dun, dun,
and you have
dun.
to condition the muscles to be able to resist that comfortably, like a weightlifter. Boy, the analogies are just flying out today.
Ooh, I do love my weightlifting metaphors. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, well, everyone can relate to that. You know, you can pick up a really small weight, but if you have to hold it for a period of time, you know, you're gonna feel it, which means you've only got resistance values to a certain point on that weight. So if it was a big note, how long can you hold it at first? I would say very short.
And my favorite part about that is, like, for my own personal journey, what I've learned about lifting weights is that it's taken years. This isn't meant to be discouraging. This is meant to be encouraging, by the way. It's taking me years of showing up so consistently and lifting things that are heavy and hard and, like, really feeling frustrated, at times feeling like I've made no progress. But now I'm at a point where I can walk around and be like, oh, hey, and it's showing. And so the same is possible with our voices, but because they're muscles and because they're so delicate, we can't expect this to happen overnight. This is a process, and the more consistent you are, the more effective you'll be at building that voice you can be so happy with in the future.
Mm-hmm. Ask yourself these questions. How old am I? Right? It's very important, because the older you get, the longer you might have to apply an exercise for it to become habitual,
Yep.
right? how tall am I? Because the height of your body depicts the size and shape of your vocal cords, right?
Ooh.
How long have I been doing this? Did I just start singing, right? Have I been singing a long time and I have to just rehabituate bad habits, right? So there's all these different factors that are going to change how you develop a routine.
And that, my
Right.
friends, is why it's so important for you to be sending in your student review videos so we can hear Darcy and I are both like, cheers, cheers. This is really good. Okay, I want to make sure we have time to get to a couple more questions plus our student of the week. So here's one I really wanted to check in on because Julia is experiencing some sickness right now. So after being sick, how do I know when I need to rest my voice or when the right time is to start exercising again?
All right. So if you've completely lost your voice, shut her down. Hit the red button, zip it up, do this, just moisturize, sleep, tons of water, keep hydrating,
Yes.
3 liters a day minimum, right?
Yeah.
And just shut it down. But if it's just like, it doesn't feel quite right, like Lisa says, exercise a little bit and rest. Exercise a little bit and rest. You just want to keep it alive. If you have to do a performance or a gig, you have to. So you've got to deal with it. But if you practice more than you're going to sing, it's going to be detrimental.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you have to practice that much before you sing, then it's maybe not time to sing yet.
And always measure with that vocal fry. Can you vocal fry?
Yeah.
This is from J.Ann. This is a vocal mist. They are awesome. You definitely don't use plain water. It comes with a saline solution. They're not
Sodium chloride.
what he said. They're not cheap. They're around $100, but 1,000% worth it in my opinion.
Right.
This room that we're in here is super dry, so this is super important.
And did you know that on an airplane,
Oh,
it is as dry as the Mojave Desert? And do you know how I know this? You remember Chris Johnson?
yes.
Chris took a hydrometer on a flight from
Course he
London
did.
to LA, and he measured the moisture in the air, and he said it was as dry as the Mojave Desert on that airplane. Ta-da!
So after a flight, hydrate your vocal cords, friends.
Before, during, after.
If
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, because it's huge. Oh, here's a fun question from Derek. Will we be seeing Darcy and Kates over on Singeo Lessons on Smule? Christmas songs will get the attention of the Smuleans to sing with the coaches. Okay, so Darcy, have you checked out Smule at all?
I have looked at it.
Okay, I should give you our Singeo login because it's actually kind of fun. So Julie and I have just been showing up and singing, and then other members of our Singeo community are able to pop in there and duet with us, and it's really fun.
Oh,
So we'll get
I
Kates
might need
and
a
Darcy.
bit of a tutorial.
Yeah, I still need a tutorial. I'm like, how does this technology work? But once you get rolling with it, it's okay. Okay, one more question, then we'll go to student of the week. Iris, can we learn to sing so high? Is it doable? How high
What is
can
so
you go?
high?
Like so high. I think this question came in while we were demonstrating whistle tone.
Oh, right.
Like, what are the limits on range?
If you're working your voice and you're doing it, I don't want to. You're doing it at a nice pace. You're conditioning it. You're working at it regularly. Your voice cannot help but get better. Your voice cannot help but increase its range, both lower and higher. Your voice will be able to resist more. You will be able to get louder, more dynamic, more intense. It's just a no-brainer. When you work it, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing.
I also would say, and add to that, usually singers have a lot more range than they are aware of, especially when you're just sort of discovering your voice. My first sessions with Darcy, I was singing probably an extra octave plus than I thought I could, and quality. So yeah, there's all these notes up here, great whistle tone, la-ti-da. But when you're looking at your range, it's about quality over quantity, in my opinion. So being able to learn how to first access those notes, accept that they will be ugly, and then take yourself to a point where you're able to actually sing those with like eloquence, grace,
You know what?
style.
when you're having problems in the upper register and you're trying to increase your range and the ability to stay connected in there, I always go back to the transition. Mm-hmm. I massage that transition and then we go up. Massage that transition, then we go up. It's where the foundation is. It's where you're crossing over. It's where you start to blend the two voices. If you're a chest puller, that means your head voice isn't accustomed to being closed, like connected. Mm-hmm. So you have to come from where you connect and then learn to release through it. If you're a flipper, you've got to learn to find the connection. So you find it and walk your way in and come back down, walk your way in. And then eventually you start to balance out the use of the muscles involved in chest and head voice to create mix.
So if you're inside Singeo and you're using our routines, so say you go to the routines library and you're singing through it, pay attention to what you're doing. And when you get to a place where you're like, this is where my transition is, like this is crunchy territory, use your mouse, click 2 bars, maybe 1 rotation of that exercise back, and then work up to it, and then go back, and then work up to it, and then maybe go past a little bit and work back. Like use that tool to help you do that. Like use the features of it. You can even drag across and it'll loop it for you, which is really cool.
Right.
And one final.
Can I add something to that?
Always.
So then, and if you, when you're going into head voice, that territory that's iffy, always use a short staccato exercise. So you don't have to hold the note. You're just touching it. Ping, ping, ping.
Ping, 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 ping. And high notes, Iris, for you, at this stage of the game, I feel like you have access to them. It's going to be about tuning them into a place that feels pleasant for you. So I'm going to give you a personal challenge. I'm going to suggest that you find something to sing that demonstrates these high notes that you are finding to be unpleasant. Submit it for student reviews, and then we'll assign it to Darcy, and we'll see what comes of that. I think that'll be really exciting.
The last student review I did with Iris, it blew my mind. She's really come so far, you know? Just like the prime example of, achievements.
What's possible.
Really well done. Yeah. So Iris, you are on the right path. I would just say, continue doing what you're doing. Continue asking these questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's working.
I'm like, I have this like in the back of my mind. I just want to, at some point go back to some of our student threads and those first videos they posted and then do a compare to where they are today. Like after we've maybe our 2nd anniversary, we'll put some of these comparative videos together with permission.
Yeah. That's the reason why I get my clients to record, because we can go back 6 months later and they usually go, well, who is that? You know, it can be that drastic. And then it's a great way to review and mark progress so you know what to stay away from and where to keep going.
Yes. Okay, we're going to take a little break from our questions to announce our student of the week. So our student of the week this week is Simon L., who's singing Hand in My Pocket. Oh, I think this may be some Alanis. So let's check it out.
I'm broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm short, but I'm healthy, yeah. I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm lost, but I'm hopeful, baby. And what it all comes down to is that everything's gonna be fine, fine, fine. 'Cause I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five.
Wow, Simon, that's so good. Oh my gosh. I'm highly impressed with that. What do you think, Darcy?
I'm smiling.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've reviewed a few clips of Simon, and he's working real hard.
There was a couple moments where I was like, okay, that's going to be maybe he'll pull in that note and it won't hit. And then he just nails it. I was like, what? So good.
Yeah. And that's kind of that song is kind of a wiry thing to sing. It's
that's a good way to put it.
She has an interesting style where sometimes it's really overly big in the shapes, right?
What it all comes down to.
Yeah. It's very sassafras.
Sassy. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we, I can't forget this. I'm really trying to get my concentration points from Julia. The Christmas party, Friday at 2 p.m. That's when we're going to be streaming live Musora-wide, so please come tune in. And we will also have a recital. So our student recitals are going to be streaming all day across all brands on Saturday. So just tune in. The reason that what's it called? The order of events, the schedule hasn't launched is because we tried to give you guys as much time before the cutoff, between the cutoff and the recitals, to actually get your submissions, and we want to give you lots of time. We couldn't create a schedule until we have all of your submissions. So we promise it will release really, really soon if it hasn't already. Okay, so what I would like to do now is actually just grab, did I miss anything, Julia? How am I doing? Do I get points?
Do I get points?
I asked for concentration points today because I'm like working really hard at being 10 out of 10. Yes. Okay. Okay, we've got 3 minutes left and there's still some questions. So what this means to me is that we'll have to bring Darcy back very soon. And very quickly, Julia, can you comment in the chat when we'll be seeing the virtual choir? When are we sharing that? Julia's going to tell us in the chat. Don't mess it up, says Julia. I'm kind of scared of Julia sometimes. She's just so good at everything. Friday at the Christmas party. Okay, that's why you have to tune in. So there's that one for you. Oh, I think we might get through these questions. Hold on, but we'll still bring Darcy back. Damien, does the speaking tip still work when trying to fix on a suitable key? So saying the words of the song is going to work no matter what key that the song is in, because this is just like creating the flow of the words, and then you'll place that into the key. Oh, here's a really important question. Shining Soul is asking, Darcy, what guitar do you have behind you? Oh,
that is a custom made. It's a Fender Strat with a Lato neck and Jeff Beck humbuckers. It's a beautiful little guitar with a shaved neck. Fits my little hand.
Aw, that's so nice.
As soon as you say the word little, Lisa's,
aw, so nice. Okay, one more question I'm seeing here. Agma, is it too ambitious to try to become a monster singer? Like, I don't think that's too ambitious. I think if you want to sing like a monster, you just have to remember, if I want to be like super built, like, you know, in those bodybuilding competitions where people get extremely big and ripped, that's not too ambitious for me. It's not, but it's just going to take an incredible amount of focus, determination, hard work, consistency, and a long time. And that's a big decision to make. So that's on you.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it right now. I feel like we just landed this perfectly because I answered all the questions. I remembered all the things, and we had a great time. So, and it's exactly 10:59. So, Sylvia, just quickly here in the YouTube chat, asking if I'm allowed to make future requests. Please, Lisa and Julia, a tutorial on Dance Monkey and various vocal style and techniques. Sylvia, we've got a whole level inside the Singeo method on vocal style and techniques. We've got a course from Darcy on all this vowel shaping stuff. It will change your life. We have a 7-day trial linked below this YouTube live. So if you want to just check it out and see if it's a good fit for you, use the 7-day trial. It's definitely a good choice, in my opinion, because you're going to get the benefit of so many things, including the community and the student reviews and all of that. So check that out. Friends, it is time for us to go. So
I'm so glad we had this time together.
I am too. Thanks for being here, Darcy. We'll have Darcy back in the next week or two. He's kind of wound down some of his world travels, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in the studio more often. And
maybe soon.
Yeah, like super soon. Hint, hint. Okay, everybody, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Go sing something. Goodbye.
Sing it well.
Oh, that was good. Sing it well.